Hi, ladies and gentlemen of Facebook Live land. I hope you're having a fantastic day. I'm going to invite some of you along to see if you're around. If you're coming on live, please say hello. And if you're watching the replay, you can hashtag energy and if you're just interested in all of it, you can share it if you think somebody else needs to hear this. And we can get going in a minute. How have you been? I hear that a lot of you have been having amazing weather and been enjoying the pre-summer summer. So that's all good. Okay, so I've invited some of you. Hi Jackie, how are you, lovely lady? When you're coming on live, please say hello. It helps me spread the word with the algorithm for Facebook. Hi Mickey, how are you? Hope you're doing well. And where are you from and how's the weather where you are? So today we're going to be talking about energy, and energy being the new currency and how it affects ourselves physically, mentally, and emotionally. And so it's important for us to understand, because if we don't protect our energy and we don't understand it, then it's going to be harder for us to get better, especially if you have an illness or a disease or any kind of reoccurring pains and aches, not necessarily aches, but pains for sure. And so Michigan, humid and 70 degrees. Well done. Enjoy. So hi Kalashri, how are you? And you're all the way from, can't remember, India? It's somewhere over there, right? Pakistan? Where are you from, Kalashri? So what energy is electricity. And there's different forms of energy, and it comes in different ways and types. So just because we think of electricity as energy doesn't mean that there's electrical currents going through us, although there's something similar, but it is energy nonetheless. And it flows from one point to the other, carrying a charge with it, doing its work, and changing what it touches. And the electricity that we know brings light and power. And the life force that flows through us is also made of energy, and it spins, it has a frequency, and it has a vibration. So I'm sure India, well done. Thank you for joining me all the way from India. I appreciate that. So the energy that flows through us, most of us know what vibrations are, or vibes. We say high vibe or low vibe all the time. So it's the same kind of relation. If we want to change what we're attracting, we have to pay attention to our energy and our vibes. And so if we're in a low vibe state, we're going to attract more negative into our lives. And if we're high vibe state, then we're going to attract more goodness into our lives. You're from India? Oh, it's late. Thank you for joining me. Anyway, if you want to leave, I will understand. Oh, I appreciate this. So, like a guitar string, when you pluck it, it vibrates, and the speed of the vibration is the frequency. And that's when you hear the note and the music being created. So again, it's the same thing. I'm trying to get you to understand the relation of energy when it comes to our bodies. And so you can feel the vibrations also when you sing in your throat. So same concept again. Like our life force, it too vibrates, and it's influenced, changed, or shifted according to our life experiences. Sometimes it's shifted from our thoughts, and our feelings and our emotions as well. And that's all part of our life experiences. Hi, Nadine. All the way from England. Well done. Nice weather or rainy weather? Hopefully it's nice. Praying for you, it's nice. And we experience emotional pain, trauma, distress, anything that's sort of in a heightened state, then our vibration gets lowered. That compromises our immune system and it changes our energy. When we're celebrating and we're excited and we're going out and we're feeling really good, that's when our energy is high and the vibration is high. So we don't need help at those points, usually, not always, because sometimes we can have high vibe states, but they're infrequent. So if you want to shift from a low vibe to a high vibe state, it's possible. And how you do it is you change what you're focused on. And you become consciously aware of your thoughts, which are also energy, and create a vibration. What we think about, we bring about. Sometimes our energy state is caused by many things that we deem not working for us. Because these vibrations have momentum, then we keep going down and down and down. Hi Deidre, hope you're doing well. Where are you from and how's your weather? Nadine says she's in England and 5th beautiful day in a row. Wow, nice, enjoy. So we need to protect our energy and try to stay in that high vibe state. It's really important. Sometimes our energy state is caused by different things, and it can go, like I said, into a downward spiral, or it can continue to rise, especially if we're in a good state and we stay in that good state. Hi Jenny, all the way from Toronto. Woohoo! International Day. Cloudy, sorry about that. You guys have had, though, beautiful weather. So according to Lloyd and Johnson by the Institute of Heart Math, researchers placed the human DNA in a test tube. They put the DNA in the test tube, had somebody hold it. Then they had that person think of something very destructive and a bad memory of some sort. And that DNA was then taken out of the test tube and they looked at it. And what they found is there was some shift in the DNA, so it wasn't normal anymore. There was a damage to it. They took the same DNA, put it back in the test tube with the same participant, and then asked the participant to think of positive thoughts, happy memories, and then held it. Hi Angela, hope you're doing well. It's been a while. And so when they took that DNA out, what they noticed is that the damage that was done by the negative thoughts were actually undone by the positive thoughts. It wasn't perfect, but it was repaired. So it's important for us to understand that our thoughts have an influence on our physical well-being and our energy and our vibes. So energy and emotions. Energy is everything, as I said. It doesn't matter if you call it electrons, energy, vibrations, or information. Our life force is connected to our thoughts and our emotions. And when we get a shock like this virus, a loss of a job, perhaps, you experience a trauma, death of a family member, a friend, you have physical pain or emotional pain, it can block the flow of our life force. And if that happens, that's when we get sick, because our flow has been disrupted. And so it's important, again, for us to realize these things, because then we can also look to heal ourselves or to be healed by some kind of modality. The ability to heal and thrive is based on electrical signals that enable every cell in our body to think and communicate with other cells in our body. Everyone's health is based on unimpeded flow of energy in their body. So illness is due to the blockages or the imbalances of the flow. Holding on to pain shuts off the flow of energy throughout the body. If you're blocking the natural flow, it affects our vibration by lowering it. If we don't process the emotional pain and allow it to go through us and release it, then the blockages can cause physical pain, and that physical pain can cause mechanical damage, chemical damage, and affect our metabolism. So when you see that the power of our thoughts and our emotions on our physical body, hopefully you're seeing the bigger picture now. Physical pain is not just always due to injury or trauma or something you've done while you were doing some sports or things that you shouldn't have done. Sometimes stress and strain can cause pain because you've lifted something and twisted. So those sometimes are without emotional and without thought processes. Most of the time they aren't, though. So it's important for us to understand it's very layered. It's not just physical pain. Fear is the energy that contracts, restricts, and closes down the flow of our energy. If we're in appreciation or in a love state, then the energy expands and opens up the flow of our energy. Yeah, sound therapy also will help, Mickey. Lots of different modalities out there. Reiki, I do cranial sacral therapy energy. You can, singing helps, music helps. It depends on the level that it helps. Sometimes it's just a superficial level, and energy healing, my experience is it goes into the depth of the body and helps heal mind, body, heart, and soul. So if you have a negative state, it can lead to physical ailments, and stress is a big factor. So stress can be good and it can be bad, but most of the time stress these days are now puts us in the heightened state. So our nervous system, there's two parts, the parasympathetic and the sympathetic parts of our nervous system. So if you're in the heightened stress where your body's not able to come down from the heightened state, then you're into fight, flight, and freeze. So that's when you get stuck, when you're struggling either physically or mentally and emotionally, you just can't move forward. And that is when we need to have usually something help us, and the energy work that I do really does do this, helps you shift back into the parasympathetic, which is where we rest and digest, we're calmer, more peaceful, less stressed, we are not irritated easily, we're not impatient, we're not intolerant with our family members. If we're in those states, then that is a pretty good sign that you're stressed out and your cortisol levels are probably high, and that starts breaking down your physical body. So just be aware. The energy healing works to take you out of the nervous system and put you into the rest and digest. Energy healing goes straight into the energy system of the body. It relaxes it and releases the blocks. It opens the flow and raises its vibration. So sometimes with the physical pain that you might feel, I have clients that come in and they have compensations that have occurred. So their pelvis could be in a torqued position. So this is normal and this is abnormal. And if I work on the pelvis and I help release it and bring it back into normal, that allows the flow, which is produced in the brain, cerebral spinal fluid goes down the spinal cord to the tailbone, circles back up. That is normal. if the flow is impeded, that's usually where the pain or dysfunction or disease or illness is. So it just depends on where those spots are. Energy and electrons impact everything we do. We are transmuters and receivers of electrons that are interacting with us all the time. Many feelings and emotions are generated by our encounters with the external world. And that could be emanating from other people. It could be just a circumstance or a situation which makes you go into a heightened state, or you don't feel very good, or your energy just gets drained, because there are people that also drain your energy. Hi, Rena. Thanks. Appreciate that. So the body's electrical state is modulated by thoughts, feelings, and emotions. Our emotions are not simply chemicals in our brains. They're electrochemical signals, and that affects our chemistry and the electricity of every cell in our body. So when I treat clients, I have them do a health history form. And a lot of times I will have motor vehicle accident, previous injuries, because, and it could be 20 years from when I see them, that injury or trauma could be still in the body, because the body cells retain memory. And if we're not dealing with the past, then we cannot move forward in the future. And it doesn't just go with our emotions. There's also physical holds as well as emotional holds. And a lot of times it's complicated. The physical holds are complicated by the emotional holds, because that's usually when the trauma occurs. And then there's emotion upon emotion, and frustration and aggravation and anger and bitterness and you name it, it's got layers. So it's important, again, for us to look to release those emotions so that it doesn't have the physical hold on us anymore. Dr. Candace B. Pert, author of Molecules of Emotions, writes about unprocessed emotions of becoming stuck energy and affecting a person's entire electrical system. Finding positive meaning with certain circumstances and regular experiencing relaxation are effective means to increase positive electrical circuits and connections. So the second energy healing session I did with the group a couple of weeks ago, a lot of people reported feeling relaxed. But it wasn't relaxed as in, you just sit down and you take a break. It was on a physical, cellular, deep level. It's the state where you just feel like your whole body takes a deep breath. It's a state where you're kind of spaced out. And you can't focus on a whole lot, because you're almost in a bliss state. And so when you get into that state, there's really nothing like it. And I can tell you it's really quite divine. So if you're really interested in getting that kind of relaxation, let me know. So for example, I had a client come in and she had a pain in her back. And so I asked her to describe it, and she was describing it as a sharp pain. So as we were doing the massage and then I added some cranial work, she said it's sharp. And I said, well, what does it feel like? She said, like someone stabbed me in the back. So when you hear phrases like that, or you say phrases like that, become very aware, because it's probably what you actually feel. That's the emotion that's being blocked and held in the body physically. So when I worked on her, I helped release that, and also worked on some coaching with her to find out why she was feeling that way. And she had had a pretty stressful conversation with her sister, and because she lived in Africa, the money ran out and she couldn't finish the conversation. So she felt hurt by the sister, hurt by the conversation, and then didn't have time or the ability to actually tap into what her sister was saying and respond. So she felt like there was a layer upon the layer. So we released the energy by her talking about it and her processing it as if I was her sister, so that at least she could release what she was feeling. Excuse me. So energy and physical pain. So as I've been sharing, physical pain is not just dealing with the body. Usually there's thoughts and emotions that are behind it. It doesn't have to be. It could just be pain. But most of us as human beings usually put more onto it. And that's usually because it's chronic and it's long-standing, and we're frustrated and we're angry and we're tired of it, and we want to be well, because wellness is our natural state. And so it's important for us to understand the natural state can be done. It doesn't have to be a forever thing. It's allowing the process of the healing to happen. And keep in mind that we have, most of us, when we're in pain, generally it's not acute. It's usually pain over time. And when it's pain over time, we're out of alignment. And again, the emotions and the thoughts start to layer. And that will compound it even more. So there's sometimes the torsions and the impingements and restrictions can occur over time as well. And again, the energy work helps unwind those tissue, relax those areas, reposition the bone, and the bone then allows the muscles to relax, which allows the flow. So I've had many clients. I had this one gentleman last year who had severe back pain. He's had a history of back pain, but the back pain comes from when he was 18. He's now in his 40s. And he kind of comes and goes a little bit with me with massage and some cranial work, and he doesn't do it consistently. And he was feeling the pain, and I kept asking him, because I used to go to his hotel and see him, asked him if, he wanted to come for a session. He's like, oh, no, it's fine. It feels better. I'll stretch it out. No problem. So a week later, I get a call, and he cannot move. So he struggled to get onto my bed and get off the bed, but on for sure. And thankfully, with the cranial work, it helped release it. He was still in pain, but he could at least move and feel like something was working. We did another session a couple days later, and within 4 one-hour sessions, he was completely pain-free, walking as if he had no pain, and felt awesome. Actually, he felt things flowing that he didn't even know weren't flowing. So it's, again, it works. We just have to be willing for it to work. Healing happens all of the time, but there's no exact timing. So, as I've said, this gentleman had 18 years of this pain. So 4 weeks, well, actually it was 4 one-hour sessions within probably a week and a half. So if I hadn't been there, his doctors were basically telling him that he had a disc issue. Hi, Kathy, how are you? And the disc issue was something that he would probably have to have surgery for. So thankfully, I am on the island, and he trusted me from before, and he knew to come to me, and we were able to get him some relief. So don't always be quick to think that the extreme needs to be done. Solutions are out there, and there's different modalities and different therapists that you can work with, and they will help you in different ways. So just keep that in mind. It's not something, I have so many clients that come to me whose doctor has said, oh, it's something you just have to live with. And I can tell you honestly, it's not. It truly is not. I believe full-heartedly that we can all heal. I believe full-heartedly that we are meant to heal. And I believe full-heartedly that our body knows how to. Sometimes we just need some help. So if you are ready to focus on your well-being and you want to be healthy and you want to be well again, I have a new offering. I call it the Wellness Club. It's a monthly membership. It's $27 US for the month. We'll have 2 energy sessions at least and 1 Q&A session for support, and don't know yet. I'm gonna allow the intuition, hi Holly, to really customize the membership group. It's going to be about the people that sign up. It's going to be about what they need and where the focus needs to be. There might be needing some coaching, and so then I'll coach. There might need some energy healing, so I'll do the energy healing. There might need be some working out of some emotions and all of that. So whatever the group needs is what we'll do for that month. So if you're interested, I hope to start June 1st, which is Monday, and we'll probably get started just with me adding some things into the membership group. We'll do, I'll have a separate Facebook group, and then we can have accountability and support in there by other people. The group healings that I've done over the last 3 weeks have been amazing. They're actually, in some ways, a lot more effective than I realized. And people who had back pain came out with no back pain. People who had sciatica didn't have sciatica anymore. People who had headaches and migraines at the end, their headaches and migraines had dissipated, and by the next day it was gone. People who had neck pain, it was gone. So it's important for us to know there's resources out there. And if you're interested, like I said, I'm going to start Monday, June 1st, $27 US. I don't want to overprice it. It's probably going to be for June only. I haven't quite decided. It depends on how many people come into the group. But it's going to be about you, for you, so that we can make sure that you're moving forward and you're getting help. And even though it's $27, it's a commitment that you're going to make to you. Hi, Cindy. And it's a commitment that you're going to make to your health and your wellness. And it's a commitment that you're going to make the investment in you. Because too many of us, and I'm guilty of this as well, put our health on the back burner. Too many of us have a tendency to think that our bodies are going to take us through hell and high water. And unfortunately, there's a point where our bodies will rebel. And sometimes we burn out. Sometimes we end up hospitalized. Sometimes we end up with an autoimmune disease. And sometimes we end up with life-threatening diseases like cancer. And I can honestly tell you that if you have cancer, it's not a given that you're going to die. I have worked with a lady who has had 4 bouts of cancer over the last 7 years, for the last year and a half, and she is now cancer-free. So the mind, the body, and the emotions are all part of the equation to physical well-being. So if you're interested, I really hope you take me up on my offer, because I know that there's many out there that need help. And I know sometimes money isn't a limitation. I don't want it to be a limitation. So hit me up, message me, let me know, leave a comment below if you're interested for details, and we'll talk later. I hope you enjoyed this, and if you have any questions, leave it below and I will get back to you on the other side. Oh, Kathy. Oh, Scott. Sorry. Yeah, I was here and I've been here, so I'm not sure if he's still here. My clinic is officially opened, so if Scott's interested, he is welcome to join me. Have a great day, ladies and gentlemen. Bye.